It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. How's that for a radio voice?
Perfect.
It is Thursday, February 22nd, 2018. It's 7 a.m. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Jerry and Scooter and everybody. Whether you're in Arkansas or Missouri, good morning. Hope your morning's off to a great start.
Or Texas. I think we have viewers in Texas.
Hey, Texas.
And Louisiana.
Wow.
And parts of Oklahoma.
Wow.
Internet's a beautiful thing.
It's a beautiful thing. Hope your Thursday's off to a great start.
A little wet this morning, not
little
too
wet.
bad.
Did y'all see any ice at all?
Jerry did.
Last night.
Not in the refrigerator to put in your tea. No, I'm talking about on the roads.
Last night, it wasn't on the roads, but it was stuck to the trees and the vehicles and mailboxes and everything above ground. So.
He sends that text out that it's icing outside, and he scares the crap out of me. My daughter's working till like 10:30 in this 2-wheel drive car. But he was nice enough to text me back at 10 and saying, "Hey, dude, the roads are fine."
Roads are fine.
It was hovering right there. It was 33 degree mark.
Then it dropped to 31. I think, uh-oh,
now we're in trouble.
Yeah.
Well, we got our day off to a good start. We've got Brewed Awakening Coffee here at the studio. You can do the same thing. You can stop by and enjoy coffee with us while we do the show. Or you can visit them at their 3 locations, Balmer Boulevard, BRMC Lobby, or 62 East Plaza out by Anytime Fitness. How's the coffee? You drinking coffee?
I'm not this morning.
You having withdrawals from the last 2 days?
I may, yeah. It makes me heat up. And that was the comment. It makes me hot.
Yeah, you fogged up your glasses yesterday. How's your coffee?
Excellent. Perfect, man.
Brewed Awakening Coffee. Best coffee in town. Excuse me. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening coffee, you're just drinking muddy water.
Now, do they have different coffee beans?
Well, they've got different blends of beans. You know, you've got your dark roast, and you got your lighter roast beans.
I think we get the Seattle
different flavors, pumpkin spice, and all the stuff.
Why don't you guys try a variety?
Oh, I have. He used to bring in cups with different stuff.
Yeah.
But, I mean, at 7 in the morning, show's about to go live. It's, where's my coffee?
Where's my coffee? This is what I want right
regular here. 10W30, please.
I put a little STP. You know, STP makes it go down a little better.
It does.
There you go.
Gets all the pistons firing.
There you go. Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas. With all our respect, like we say, you really don't go out on a Saturday afternoon shopping for funeral homes, but one of these days their services will be needed. So when that time comes, Roller Funeral Homes will give you that most respect and the finest service in the state of Arkansas. With all our respect. And now we'll pause for the morning prayer. Heavenly Father, as the human life of Billy Graham has ended, Christians know his eternal life has started. And what an amazing ministry. No one, since the resurrection of Jesus Christ, has presented the gospel of Christ to so many people. He preached salvation by faith in Christ, plain and simple. He prayed for and with many presidents, and when asked hard questions like, why does God let bad things happen, he humanly admits, I don't know. Lord, I thank you for the ministry of the Billy Graham Association and pray that you continue to bless that ministry. And that's my prayer today. Amen.
Amen.
Morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas.
That's a good prayer. Oh, Billy Graham. Boy,
99 years old. They estimate that he has preached to about 200 million people.
Man.
200 million people.
Is that all?
No, that's an estimate.
I'm thinking it'd be a lot more than that.
It could be.
There's 300 million in America. Everybody's got a TV set. Everybody knows who Billy Graham is.
I'm talking about, in the Crusades, in the stadiums. I've got his book, Just As I Am, his autobiography, and that's a really good book. You think that thing's going to be dry as dust? No, it is funny. The funniest part of the book, I think, is where he met his wife, Ruth Bell. And when he bought the engagement ring, he says it had a diamond so big you could almost see it with a magnifying glass. I think he presented in that book, Just As I Am, the autobiography of Billy Graham, he really he presented himself as a plain, human that enjoyed a good joke. He enjoyed fun, just like everybody else. It wasn't just deadpan, serious religious stuff all the time. He's just a good, decent farm boy from North Carolina.
I know Ronald Reagan and him had a time going back and forth.
Did they?
Yeah. He was involved in a lot of political events. A lot of people don't realize, but he was right there.
Yeah. Well, then we went to war with Kuwait. He was at the White House with President Bush.
Yeah.
For spiritual guidance. Anyway,
Good man.
God bless the life of Billy Graham. He'll be missed. And so,
By many.
Yeah. Morning weather brought to you by Greg Farm Services. And so, there's 3 reasons to raise chickens.
Oh, I can come up with more than that.
Farm fresh eggs. And if you have enough laying hens, you can sell your surplus eggs to your neighbors. That'll reduce your cost of your own eggs to almost nothing.
You don't sell them to your neighbors. You make omelets, boiled eggs, deviled eggs.
You give them to your neighbors.
You can eat
And free pest control.
Well, I want to stay on the fresh eggs.
If I had chickens here, would that mean you wouldn't bug me as much?
No, we're still on the chickens. The chickens are the free pest control.
That's right. And Angel Food Cake is made out of all egg whites.
Oh, yeah.
And if you use farm fresh.
I'll bet it's good.
Now let's move on to pest control. We'll talk about that a little bit.
They love to eat all kinds of bugs.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they do.
Scorpions, spiders, centipedes.
Wow. How many chickens you got?
I have 8
8?
total now. Yep. And they do. I mean, you pay $40 a month for exterminator to get you 8 chickens. And one of them comes with farm fresh eggs. The other comes with a bill.
Yeah. Their manure acts as fertilizers,
Excellent.
It is excellent fertilizer.
especially for
It really
flowers,
is.
potatoes, root crops, and vegetables.
It's a little hot. Yeah, I mean, you
Is it?
have to let it age a little bit if you're going to put it like on your roses. But if you want a nitrogen boost, it's some
Really?
of the best fertilizer out there.
Yeah.
Greg Farm Services has baby chicks in stock. New hatches scheduled monthly through May. Visit gregfarmservices.com, or you can call them at 481-5165 to check variety or special order a favorite breed. Greg Farm Services brings you the morning weather. 32 degrees in Mountain Home and Harrison, 37 at Hardy and Mountain View, 34 at Yellville, 37 at Marshall. Calico Rock at the freezing mark also at 32, while it's 38 in Poplar Bluff, Missouri, and 32 back in Branson in southwest Missouri. West Plains at 33. Minus 18 in Watford City, North Dakota. Ooh,
Dang it, man.
man, that's cold.
And it's still colder in Anchorage, Alaska.
And it's 22 in Anchorage. Yeah. On the radar, all of our rain has moved east, but several of the weather sources that I used, KY3, the National Weather Service, other people, bing, 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 all the way through Saturday, maybe into Sunday.
Yep.
More rain, and some of them call it for heavy rain. We could get another 3 inches or more of rain. Radar indicates shower activity in extreme southeast Arkansas. You see it there in Louisiana, going up into Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Indiana, Ohio. The heaviest rain in Ohio, moving into Pennsylvania and New York and West Virginia right now. Scattered showers in Iowa, northern Missouri, and scattered showers in the state of Illinois. Scooter, I'm going to hit the Little Rock radar there. I don't want to throw you a curveball, but here's that Little Rock radar. You can see extreme, I mean very extreme southeast Arkansas picking up some shower activity. And it's basically moving out into Louisiana and Mississippi. Northern Arkansas, your highways are clear, including Interstate 40 and 49, Interstate 30 towards Texarkana from Little Rock, 40 east, Memphis, Little Rock, 40 west to Fort Smith, as you can see there on the map. Clear highways there. Don't forget about iDrive Arkansas or MoDOT.com to check the status of any ice. We may need to do that for Missouri, because I think they had a little bit more. I'm going to try to hit the southwest Missouri radar. Not much showing up in southwest Missouri. Most of our folks will be traveling like to Branson or Springfield. And maybe if you're going to St. Louis. Well, let's look at that St. Louis stop. Looks like we got a little bit there. Very little showing up on the radar out of St. Louis. North of Mount Vernon, but south of Vandalia, Illinois. That's between Interstate 70 and Interstate 64. What do you think?
Yeah, most of it's moving out, but like you said, we're supposed to be getting a lot more coming in, so it's not over yet.
I'm going to type in MoDOT. That's Missouri Department of Transportation.
Okay.
And I'm going to check and see, because they've had a lot more of the winter precip Now, let me recenter this map a little bit. I'm going to try to enlarge it here on the screen for folks to see. Where the highways are in green, that is passable highways. So we see some light blue, mostly clear on I-55 going into St. Louis and I-44. Around the St. Louis metro area, it looks like we have possibly some ice, maybe some snow, but as you see in northwest Missouri, they have some covered roads there up around St. Joseph, up towards Tarkio, Missouri, and places like that. But most of Arkansas will be clear. These maps are really good. MoDOT and iDrive Arkansas, you know, when you have to travel.
They got apps that you can get.
Oh,
right
yeah,
on
I've got
your
them both on my
yeah,
phone. Yeah,
I do too. I
Yeah.
use them all the time.
Yeah. And so what's this little icon right here? I want to see what it says here.
Food.
Okay, on this map right here, I clicked one of the little icons. I didn't know exactly what it was. It looked like it indicated a flood. So I'm going to click on this. Missouri 95 is closed southbound due to flooding. Mo 95. So if you're on MoDOT and you can go to these little dots right here, it looks like a half full bubble. Route in is closed. Okay, so anytime you see these, you can click on these icons. Here's a little man with a flag, so I'm assuming that's construction. Work zone, Missouri 76, both directions, working on a bridge there. So if you're traveling in Missouri, and I'm sure Arkansas has the same thing, MoDOT or iDriveArkansas.com to help you with safe travels.
There you go.
Jerry, what you got in community? You got good grief. Look at this community.
Man, this is very important here. I mean, you have community events, and then you just have some things that come along you just really should be a part of. This is the Bull Shoals Lake Shoreline Management Plan update. The Army Corps of Engineers, the Little Rock District, is releasing the draft revision to the Bull Shoals Lake Shoreline Management Plan. We'll call that the SMP for now. The SMP for Bull Shoals Lake establishes a policy and furnishes guidelines for the protection and preservation of the desirable environmental characteristics of the shoreline while maintaining a balance between public and private shoreline use. In a nutshell, I went to the last one a couple years ago, and it looks like they're trying to close off certain areas to the lake access and kind of corral the public into these little public use facilities. And if you go around the lake, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You see them gates they put up everywhere, closing a lot of access down and limiting you to certain areas. They're going to have 4 workshops, and they are asking for the public to attend and give feedback. Monday, February 26th, it'll be at the Lutz School Cafeteria in Theodosia, Missouri, from 5 to 7 p.m. Tuesday, February 27th, from 5 to 7 p.m. in Mountain Home at the Arkansas State Shed Center. Wednesday, February 28th, in Harrison, 5 to 7 at Quality Inn Convention Center. And Thursday in Forsyth, Missouri, 5 to 7 at Forsyth School Cafeteria.
Wow.
And whether you have a house on the lake or a house away from the lake and you just like visiting, it impacts everybody.
Yep.
So your input is more valuable than you will ever know. So try to attend one of the workshops.
Coming up after the break, training at Barren Creek. Mike Sisk, Elka King are here in the studio, so they'll be coming on here in just a minute, and we're going to go to break. And join us, Mike Sisk, Elka King, a lot of good information. Training at Barren Creek, defensive firearms training. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
Lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the Pie Lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant located on the square in Mountain Home.
Hello, I'm Charles Ferguson. Here at Mountain View Chevrolet, we still do business the old-fashioned way with honesty and integrity. And we have a good inventory of new Chevy cars, trucks, and SUVs from large to small. Our service department has all GM certified technicians And our friendly salespeople are ready and eager to fit a car truck to your needs in a price range you can afford. We also have a lot full of pre-owned cars and trucks, program and new car trade-ins to choose from. So come see us at Mountain View Chevrolet.
You've tried medications just cover up the pain, and you've tried dieting to help lose weight. Before you try something drastic like surgery to get rid of the numbness and tingling, why don't you try a better approach to health? Hi, I'm Dr. Charles Osgood, and at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we heal the whole person the natural way.
At Mountain Home Family Chiropractic, we take a hands-on approach to chiropractic care, massage therapy, and nutritional counseling. Our 20 years of service has led to successful results.
When I come in to see Dr. Osgood, sometimes after one adjustment, I have immediate relief. Sometimes it takes 4 or 5 adjustments.
I recommend Mountain Home Family Chiropractic because it really works and keeps me pain-free.
Mountain Home Family Chiropractic supports the community by donating to Mountain Home Food Basket and the Lions Club. Request an appointment with us today at Mountain Home Family Chiropractic. Excellence for your body and frame alignment.
Your White River Getaway starts at Cotter Trout Lodge, where you find convenient, clean, and affordable accommodations right in the heart of Cotter, Arkansas. Take advantage of the Natural State Fly Shop across the road for all your supplies and guided fly fishing needs. Countless delicious homemade menu options await to satisfy your hunger cravings at the White Sands Cafe. Your complete White River Getaway is cradled in the east arm of the historic Ruthven Rainbow Bridge at the Cotter Trout Lodge, Natural State Fly Shop, and the White Sands Cafe.
Hi, I'm Ricky with Arch Trash Pickup. If anybody needs trash service in the area, please give us a call. Arch Trash Service is veteran owned, and I've been in the local area resident for over 20 years. I'll provide a better service than the other guys and even provide front door service trash pickup for those that aren't able to take their trash to the curb. We'll also pick up almost anything and even provide free recycling. I am Ricky with Arch Trash Pickup, and please give me a call for all your trash service needs.
With a large showroom of over 13,000 square feet, the Furniture Depot is your local choice for quality name brand furniture at prices anyone can afford. They carry a great selection of catnapper recliners, power recliners with lumbar support, and lift chairs. Check out Furniture Depot's variety of living room and dining room sets in various styles and designs. And don't forget about their mattress gallery featuring Serta, Symbol mattresses, and adjustable beds. Family owned and operated, that's Furniture Depot, located in the Ozark Shopping Center in Mountain Home.
Life is too short to wear boring clothes. Welcome to Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique, where we carry the latest trends and fashions and accessories at prices anyone can enjoy. Feel beautiful while looking fabulous with a large range of fashions that fits anyone's sense of style. You're sure to discover something unique and new at every visit. Shabby to Chic also features 12 professional stylists, aesthetics by Amy J, a nail technician, and 4 tanning beds. Excite your style at Shabby to Chic Salon and Boutique in Mountain Home.
7:18 on this Thursday. We want to welcome to the studio Training at Barren Creek with Elka King and Mike Sisk, and welcome.
Good morning, Dale.
Good morning. Thank you.
And so I'm going to let y'all have the microphones, and we want to start with enhanced concealed handgun training. Is that right?
Sure. I'm sure everyone has heard that the state finally got that squared away, and that the enhanced license is available now, which is basically, let me put it this way. There are places that you can't carry your gun. There are places with a concealed carry license that you can. And there are more places with an enhanced concealed carry license that you can carry. So we now have an 8-hour class to get you to the enhanced carry license status.
What's the difference between the standard and the enhanced?
It is the difference is the places that you're allowed to carry. So there are certain places that are always going to be off limits for everyone, and then there are places that you would be allowed. The biggest one, and this was about campus carry, is that you would be allowed with an enhanced carry license to carry on a public college campus, including the buildings. There are some exceptions to that. And that would be a useful thing for someone who is either a student and is over 21 years old, or is an employee at a college campus. Now, that is for public college campuses, not private. Private's a little bit different. And so in this class, we go through this ad nauseum, basically, trying to help everyone understand where they're allowed to carry, what their responsibilities are. It does not, your enhanced license does not give you any more license to do anything with your gun than you have with a regular carry license. It is still only for your self-defense. You're not helping the police. You're not supposed to go run after the bad guys and chase them down. That's the police job. But for self-defense, you will be allowed to carry in some places that you can't right now with a regular concealed carry license.
You know, I'm sitting here thinking, because when my oldest boy went to Middle Tennessee State, there's emergency call centers on campus. Well, if that emergency call center is from here to the road from me, and it's 10:15 at night, and you just come out of the library and you don't know who's lurking in the darkness, the first person I'm going to look for is that person with that concealed carry license.
Well, you can look for them, but you don't know if they've got one, if everything's going like it's supposed to.
You know.
Yeah.
But if I knew they had, I'm going to be with the person with the gun.
Well, actually, Dale, I'm going to say this. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself.
True.
And that goes for every human on this planet that is old enough to be able to do so.
Good point.
So that would go a long way to helping people be safer, for them not to wait for someone to be the person with the gun, and the gun's not always the answer, but to have thought about the situation that they're in and what can they do for themselves in that situation, whether it's a place they're allowed to carry or not. If you were, where are the exits? What can you do? Are there any improvised weapons you can use to help defend yourself? Be prepared to fight for yourself, because you're the only person that's with you when it happens 100% of the time.
That's a good point. It really is. We've got to bring this up. The Florida shootings in the forefront of the news. They've had the meeting with the president. He invited Sandy Hook people, Florida people, maybe some others. And, there was a dad on there that was just mad as he could be. But we point the finger at the gun. And I'm sorry, there's 17 lives that were lost due to gun violence, but I think it was the mental state of the shooter. Am I correct or incorrect?
I view it like this, Dale. Your pen is laying here on this desk.
Yep.
I'm the one that determines what that pen does. Because if nobody touches it, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now, that pen's still laying there.
Right.
If I pick it up and drop it, if I pick it up, I'm the one that determines what that does. Firearms are neither bad nor good.
Right.
It's the people that are using them that are bad or good. There's a lot of fingers that can be pointed at different people in that shooting down there in Florida. Some people it appears early on like there may have been some people that dropped the ball on that. There were indications that this kid was no good and that he was violent. And that will all come out, I hope, in the investigation. But before we rush to judgment and before we jump into knee-jerk reactions on some of these things, let's get all of our facts straight.
Yeah.
And, again, you don't want to ever lessen the tragedy of what went on down there in Florida. But, in my eyes, a firearm is just a tool.
Yeah.
And
but the same day, 29 people were stabbed to death at an airport in China.
Right.
With a knife.
Well, and you could, the problem is everyone wants to do something, but the capacity for what they can do is limited depending on who they are. Lawmakers can make laws, and we already know that criminals don't abide by laws, so that's not going to make it better. But as far as making our schools safer, there are physical things that we can do, and there are actions that we can take to help save people's lives and prevent these things from happening. But we have to be willing to sit down and go, our goal for all of us, the people who disagree with guns and the people who like them, is to make the kids safe. They're our children.
Yeah.
And so we need to get past that and look at the goal and then find the actions that are actually going to accomplish the goal.
Scooter, can we pull this up on the screen? This is Training Barren Creek. This shows what's available, and I know we've got some other topics we need to talk about here between now and the top of the hour. But all of these courses are available.
Yes, a lot of them are not scheduled right now, but if someone had an interest, we certainly would schedule them. It's terrible to schedule a class and then not have anyone show up, so when you have interest, then go ahead. And then you have a person who wants to take a class, but when it's scheduled, they can't be there. So we try to work around people's schedules and provide the classes when they need them. But we do try to offer the concealed carry license class, our Introduction to Combat Focused Shooting, and Introduction to Defensive Carbine on a pretty regular basis. We found that there's a lot of interest in those. And Mike did want to talk about, we have a carbine class this Sunday, and it does still have space in it, so I'll let Mike talk about that.
Okay.
Yes, Sunday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. we're doing an Introduction to Defensive Carbine. Some of you people may have already heard me talk about this before. If they've, you know, I've been on here a couple of times with those things. You know, in the last few years, there have been a lot of AR-15 platform rifles that have been sold in this country. I've seen conservative estimates at somewhere between 6 and 10 million in homes around the country. And a lot of people bought them because they just wanted to have one. You know, we're kind of rebellious that way. If we feel like the government's going to tell us we can't have something, then we got to have it. And those things, they're great. They're great guns. I enjoy shooting them. I've shot thousands upon thousands of rounds out of them. Many people who have them come from maybe a hunting background or a target shooting background. These are different. These are not like your typical hunting rifle in the fact they're not bolt action, they're not single shot, they're not pump action, lever action, anything like that. And the techniques used to run one of them safely and efficiently are different. And that's what we do in this 4-hour class, is take people who are either at the beginning of their relationship with an AR-15 or people who have shot many thousands of rounds, and we can help them do it better.
And the term AR does not mean assault rifle.
No, it means Armalite rifle.
Mm-hmm.
And
is that the manufacturer?
That's the people who
designed it.
Eugene Stoner, back in the 50s, mid to late 50s, came out with the design of the AR-15, and there was a company, Armalite, that I believe, if I'm right, they were the ones that were pushing this, and then Colt ended up buying the patent from them. So in many ways, Colt has become synonymous with AR-15s, but it was actually Armalite rifle number 15. That's all it is. It doesn't have any ominous meanings at all.
Well, we sure have changed that in the media, haven't we?
Well, we've done a lot of things in the media that's dubious, right?
Well, now we're trying to straighten things out.
Yeah.
Here we are. Anyway.
This class is 4 hours.
What time was it? 9 to 1?
9 a.m. to 1 p.m. For some of you that does not like that morning start, once we get daylight savings time here in, what is it, a couple of weeks?
March 11th, I think, yeah.
Once we get there, then you'll be starting to look at, we'll be doing them from 1 to 5. Change them to afternoons, which makes it easier. A lot of people don't like getting up early on the weekend, and I understand that. This is not a physically demanding class. You're not going to be climbing walls or swinging off ropes or anything, so people can, almost anybody can go through this and they will enjoy it. We have a good time. They're going to learn a lot. We're going to use probably 200 to 300 rounds of ammunition. The first thing we'll do is get them a 50-yard zero. Many people, you know, back in the day, you could go anywhere around here and shoot a gun, zero a gun, whatever you need to do. Well, those days are over with because most of the land around here is in private hands. Unless you're a member at the gun club, or you don't want to drive, or you want to drive to Sillamore, being able to zero your rifle's tough. But that's the first thing we do, is get you a good 50-yard zero, and we go from there. And people can bring a rifle with iron sights. They can have some sort of optic on it, and it all works the same for us.
The focus here is training.
Yeah,
proper training.
And the context of this class is your personal home self-defense, because most people don't wear an AR. So you've got to think about this from a realistic standpoint. For self-defense, your AR is going to probably be used in or around your home, most likely. So it's not long distances, that's hunting. It is self-defense, and so everything that we teach will be from that viewpoint.
From the self-defense angle.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah.
Yes.
That's how it should be. Looking at the clock, 7:29. Quick break. More with training at Barren Creek. Mike and Elka are here. Be right back.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment, their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks? Because I know the people that work there, I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
It's close enough to 7:32 to say it's 7:32 in the morning, and we're back with training at Barren Creek. Mike and Elka are here, and Elka, you had a point we need to bring out.
The enhanced concealed carry license. If you are already a concealed carry license holder and you are coming up on your renewal, you have two options. You can either do your regular renewal training, which is about an hour and a half, and it's $30, or if you would like to get an enhanced license, you can take the enhanced course, and your qualification, your training certificate from the enhanced license will stand for your renewal. So you have that option, and it'll save you just a little bit of money, because if you renew, you're still going to pay your same renewal fee to the state. But the class fee for a renewal is $30. The class fee for the enhanced license class is $150. So it is more expensive, but then you would be not spending the $30 to renew and then do the enhanced license. So just a thought. And the enhanced license, once you have it, it's yours until you let your license lapse or you lose it. So it's like a motorcycle endorsement. Once you've taken the test and passed, that part of it stays on as long as you keep your license current.
When you're choosing a gun for concealed carry, what do you look for?
You look for reliability first, and then a gun that fits your hand, that doesn't have a bunch of extra buttons and levers, because that's usually extra work for you to do, and under a time of stress, that's terrible. The biggest part is that it fits your hand properly, that you can reach everything and make it work, and that it is reliable for you.
What do you think about I saw a report on smart guns where you have to have a certain watch on before the gun would fire. What do you think of that? Is that the future of guns?
I think that's a great way to get killed.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that...
I'd forget to put
I saw a report the other morning on the news, and it was a guy, and I don't remember the name of the gun, but you either wear a ring or a bracelet or a watch.
And that has the radio signal to unlock the gun.
And your firearm must be within 8 to 10 inches of this RFID signal for it to work. So, you know, and it's set up, if you're a right-handed shooter, you can put it in your right hand, put your stuff on your right hand or right arm, or put it on your left arm. And I'm with Elka. This is a great way to have a gun and not have a gun.
Yeah.
Because the instant that gun is in this hand and your watch is on this arm, you've got a club.
Might as well be Barney Fife with your bullet in your pocket, you know?
Yes.
This technology has not gotten to the point that it is going to be safe for people yet. I just don't see it.
Is
And
this
it's,
a fad
it's basically
to...
mechanical, which means it can fail.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh, really? Yeah.
I mean, anything, you know, you've got electronic stuff that goes out all the time, right? So
there is going to be
go.
some sort of a safety, some sort of a mechanism inside that gun that keeps the firing mechanism from working until it receives that RFID
Well, basically,
signal.
we were putting a computer in a gun.
And
we've seen what it done to cars.
Yes, it's improved.
Remember lean burn?
I remember lean burn, yes. But I think the smart gun technology, it is something worth working on for the future, but today it's not there yet.
And the other problem is it takes away from the fact that what people really need is to learn how to use their guns safely, properly, be educated about it, understand when they should use it. Those are the things that people are that you try to avoid by, if I can just buy something, I don't have to do all this other work. If you spend less money on a gun and more money on education and training, you win.
There you go. Wow, that's a good point. You need to be on national
sell a
TV.
gun, sell a gun. Well, I'm not the first person that said this. Actually, Rob Pincus, who started Combat Focused Shooting, is the guy that says sell a gun and get some training. People buy guns right and left. They've got guns in their safes, and their comfort and their handling of their gun, and that's not there. They're more willing to spend the money to own the gun than they are to get the training. And I understand that training's not something that you can sell to somebody else, but it is the thing that may save your life way more than just the gun.
Wow.
A gun's not a talisman of good luck, safety. You can't go, I have a gun, and have your bad guy run away.
And the good guy doesn't always win.
You might get lucky, but yes, and the good guy doesn't always win.
Yeah, this isn't Gunsmoke. The good guy doesn't always win.
Yeah, just because you're the good guy, it doesn't mean that you're going to make it out of the situation. So, preparing the best you can is a lot better.
And I want to bring out, I want to highlight this point that this is called training. This is not, we're not trying to make criminals here. We're trying to have people learn how to protect themselves safely.
Exactly. You have a responsibility to do that.
Responsibility. With that word, I want to, and I don't know how to ask this question, but if there's a gun in the home and there's kids in the home under 18, what's the safest way to keep it to where I can protect myself when I'm home, but when I'm away and the kids are in the home, how can I make sure that gun is safe?
You want a quick access safe, which makes it available to you easily, as opposed to going and unlocking your big safe and dragging your gun out. A quick access safe is small, and it usually either it can have an RFID or a touchpad or a lock. Now, a key lock is kind of questionable because people will be tempted to leave the key in the lock, and if they don't leave the key in the lock, then they can't find the key. So a touchpad or something like that is really good. But it's small. It can be stationed in a part of your home that would be convenient for you if you were to need it, such as, say, your master bedroom. Kids, it should be safe from the children, because you should have done a good job teaching your kids.
Right.
There shouldn't be a reason that they would be trying to get into it. And actually, if you have small children, it's not unheard of to have your safe room, your area because you go to your kids' room to make sure they're safe. So if you staged a handgun in a quick access safe locked in their room, and that's where you went to protect them and call 911, then that would be a reasonable situation. Basically, your gun needs to be accessible to you, but not accessible to anyone who does not have authorization.
So these quick access vaults or safes, so to speak, it's kind of like when I was in Memphis at the Peabody. You get the little safe for your valuables, and you can put a 4-digit code and hit pound and open it up, and you can change that code anytime you want to while you're in that room. Is that a similar situation?
Similar. It is small like that. That one's usually in a closet. That's not real effective. In a hotel room, it's plus minus. In your home, it would need to be somewhere, obviously, that is that you could barricade if you needed to. Go to and barricade, get your gun, call 911, and wait. And if the bad guy doesn't come in that room, and hopefully the police get there and catch him. But if he doesn't come in that room, then you stay safe. The idea is for you to stay safe. So you don't get your gun and go out wandering through your house looking for the bad guy.
Yeah.
That's putting yourself back in harm's way. If you can make it through your life without having to shoot someone, you win. So you only want to do it if you have to, and that's when they come through your second barricade into the room that you're holding out waiting for the police to come, and then you have to make sure it's the bad guy before you shoot.
Split-second decisions.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So you need, that's why,
but there again, that's where the word training that I'm reading here,
so
training
important.
at Barren Creek, training.
Yes,
you know,
have to think
how
about
do you
the
avoid
stuff
the
ahead
panic
of time.
situation? You know, they talk about arming teachers in the classroom, and I could just imagine a first or second grade or third grade teacher with a 9mm in the purse.
No,
and their
not in the purse.
First instinct is to mother hen those students, to take, I mean, to wrap, you know, and barricade them with their own body.
The gun does not get to be in the purse.
Where's the safe spot?
Well, and this is not official. Your gun is safest when it's on your person and you have control of it. So in a proper holster with the trigger guard covered on your person where you are aware of it and that you can control its access at all times.
Yeah.
There's no issue with that. I mean, when I carry on my person, I would not hesitate to pick up a child. You know if your gun is being touched. And I mean, I can set a kid on my hip and he'll be sitting on my gun and that's fine.
Yeah.
It's perfectly safe that way. But you cannot leave guns in purses and stuff, and that's one of the things with the enhanced carry license. You may be able to carry your gun on campus, but you cannot store it on campus except in a locked vehicle. You cannot take it in your dorm room and put it somewhere. If you work in a college, you can't put it in your desk drawer and walk away. It has to be under your control within arm's reach.
Oh wow.
Yes, or that is storage, and storage
is
not allowed.
Ownership or the
enhanced yes.
conceal.
You cannot store a gun there. You can only carry it. It has to be in your possession. So it has to be within arm's reach and under your control.
100% controlled by the person with the enhanced concealed handgun license.
And the only way that it's not on your person is if it is locked in your vehicle. Out of sight.
Wow.
And Dale, you've heard me say this before, and I'm going to throw this out there. You ask about how you react and how you control panic.
Yeah.
The best thing you can ever do for yourself in a situation like this is to have a plan. You know.
Teach me. What do you mean?
Well, you want to have a plan at your house. Let's use your house for example. Elka's talking about maybe we have kids, we have a safe room, we've got a defensive firearm stored in that room. We're working on a plan, aren't we? We've got a door that locks going into that room, so if somebody's kicking your door in at 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't have to wake up from a deep sleep and figure out, what am I going to do about this? Because you're wasting time that you don't have. If you have this plan and you have practiced this plan, you will put it into action when you wake up. And you've heard me say before that implementing a plan is way faster than improvising a plan. And
say that one more time now so it'll soak in. Say it
implementing your plan is far faster, far more efficient than improvising a plan.
So having a good sturdy plan in place can eliminate that panic.
Well, I'm not going to say it eliminates the panic. It allows you to deal with the situation more efficiently. Yeah. If you wake up and you go to and your door or you hear a window being broken and you're going, is my gun in the house or did I leave it in the truck? Is my gun loaded? Is my gun unloaded? Where did I put it? You don't want to be doing all that when the door is crashing in. You want to know where that gun is at. You want to know what condition it is in and what you need to do. Plan ahead. You know, in our world these days, so many people live in the moment. And you know, we never plan much of that stuff ahead. Have a plan, and when this happens, I'm not telling you it will eliminate panic and eliminate fear, because it won't. But it will help you to deal with it. You don't have to try to improvise something on the fly that may or may not work. This plan you have a better chance of coming out successful in this.
You'll be using the power of recognition.
Yes.
You will have already considered these possibilities, and what may happen may not be exactly that, but because you have thought about this and you've made a plan for this situation, when you recognize the situation when the glass breaks or all that, instead of going into a full-on panic, your brain will go, wait, I have something in here for this situation. So a little bit of that panic you won't be spending your resources so much on the panic as you will be going, let me get that plan rolling. And you're still going to have that potential freeze moment. Is this really happening? But part of planning and training is going, I am willing to recognize that bad things happen, and there's not always anything I can do about it except try to roll in whatever plan I have. And it may not, it may not be perfect, but it's certainly, yes, it is. It is taking a learned stimulus, which is going to be your glass breaking, your bad situation, and linking it with a learned response, and that is the power of recognition. You see people that you know, and you recognize them, you learn to recognize, and so when you have that recognition, it helps you. But if you don't have any recognition, you're sitting there going, what the heck's going on and what should I do? And that's not where you want to be.
Time for a quick break. Talking with Mike and Elka from Training at Barren Creek. Check them out at trainingatbarrencreek.com. We'll be right back after the break.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Coming in 2018, VHF Archery Range, brought to you by DeerHunterFan.com TV and Steadyform. This 10,000 square foot indoor climate-controlled archery range will feature 3D targets, 3D pop-up, and state-of-the-art video shooting. DHF Archery Range will be open to the public and available for all ages. It's a great facility for hunters and archers alike and located in the center of the Ozarks in beautiful Bull Shoals, Arkansas. That's DHF Archery Range, coming in 2018. Keep on the lookout for more details and their grand opening announcement soon. More than just propane, Reese Propane provides you full-service propane delivery as well as tank and piping installation. We are your dependable choice, offering the very best in personal service with on-time deliveries and competitive prices. Reese Propane also sells and installs tankless water heaters and appliances and can even convert your gas cook stove to liquid propane. So no need to fuss and cuss about bad service. Call us at Reese Propane. We greatly appreciate your business and God bless.
7:47, and Mike's got to get to work, so he's got a couple more quick announcements. We're going to let Mike get over to Minute Mechanic. Mike?
Two things. I want to point out that in this introduction to defensive carbine and all of our classes at Barren Creek, we got 3 certified instructors, Elka, myself, and Rick Watkins, who's not here today. And that is one of the greatest pluses of training at Barren Creek, because I have been to numerous handgun, rifle, defense training classes, and sometimes you'll get one instructor for 10 to 12, 13 people. That person has their hands full trying to work with all of these people and give them the knowledge that they need and give them the correction that they need. We've got 3 people, and typically we have all 3 of them at these classes. Sometimes there's 2, but you are going to get your money's worth from having certified instructors working with you one-on-one and helping you with what you need help with. The next thing I want to say is March 3rd and 4th, the Twin Lakes Gun Club Gun Show at the Baxter County Fairgrounds. This is the gun club show that has been here forever, 25 plus years.
It's a good show. Good
gun show. It starts at about 8:30, 9 o'clock on Saturday morning, runs till 5. And then on Sunday, it'll be about 8:30 or 9 in the morning, and it'll run till about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There is going to be refreshments and food available on site. If you want to rent a table, if you're interested in trying to sell some guns or knives, call Floyd Lee at 656-2610. And hopefully I get to see a bunch of people down there Saturday morning. I'll be working the front door as a guard on Saturday. And hopefully we get a big crowd there.
Good.
I got to go to work.
Yep,
Thank
Mike's
you,
gonna
guys.
run. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks.
See you, Mike. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday, Mike.
Yes, and you can't believe there's somebody this old, right?
Get your cake.
Yeah, you want to slide down, Elka?
Sure.
Come on down. Yeah. So what do we need to cover yet? You know, we got about 11 minutes before we end out the program. So what do we need to cover?
Well, let's see. I don't know, Dale. I'm used to you asking questions. We've talked about a little bit about the enhanced license. One of the things that's different from the regular concealed carry license is that the enhanced license, the qualification for it is a timed and scored qualification. So, yes, so you have a B-27 target, which is pretty dang big. You have to hit your shots to be scored inside the 7 ring. Now, I will tell you, you probably can't tell, but the 7 ring is wider than I am. So this is not super difficult. You have to score 35 out of 50 hits inside the 7 ring or touching the line, and you will shoot at distances of 3 yards, 7 yards, and 15 yards, and it will be timed fire. So you have, when you take this class, you have 3 opportunities on that day if you need them to pass. If you do not pass after your 3 opportunities, you have to wait 90 days to retake the whole class.
So this is intensive training.
Well, okay,
I
from a personal standpoint, it is not intensive training, it is a test. If you don't think that you can do this or you are questioning your abilities, then training ahead of time would be the ideal situation, because really and truly, just because you pass this qualification doesn't mean you can defend yourself. The qualification does not require you getting your gun out of the holster in a stressful situation, and that's where many people have struggles to learn to do that properly and efficiently. So you're not throwing your gun on the ground or handing it to the bad guy. That's big stuff. So none of this is tested in getting this enhanced concealed carry license. So I really do recommend, even if you can pass this test, if you're not comfortable, if you haven't had training getting your gun out of the holster, and I mean, obviously, if you're going to carry your gun, it has to be carried somewhere. So probably a holster is going to be involved. But this is not a test of any of that stuff.
What I'm thinking is what you're just in the last couple of minutes of telling me things that we don't normally think about.
No, exactly, and that's
because
the
we're too used to watching the TV, the cowboy shows or the police shows where they just reach down and boom, boom, boom.
And the gun handling on most police shows is horrific. It has improved somewhat in the past few years.
But they're actors.
Yeah, well, but see, how people learn how to use guns is what they see on TV. That's most people's experience with guns, and so
which
they
is
do
fantasy,
which is what they do. And as Mike said, the good guys win. Well, as my son says, you don't have main character shield. So we here's the one question each person should ask himself before he gets involved in a situation, especially if this situation is not directly involving you. If you think that you're going to get involved in a situation, you should ask yourself, am I willing to die today and give up my family and everyone who loves me to affect this situation? So, and I'll give you a prime example. I don't know if you remember, there was a man on a train in either Seattle, Washington, that area, and he was yelling some ugly stuff at a couple of women on the train. And so 3 gentlemen decided to interact with this man to stop him from yelling at these women. And he pulled out a knife and killed 2 of them and put 1 in the hospital. Now, I'm sure that they didn't think at that moment that when they got involved that they were going to die in the next few minutes and never see their families again. They thought they were being wonderful, helpful men, doing the right thing, trying to protect those women. So what I try to help people to think about is, what can you do to help without putting yourself in harm's way? I understand that you want to help and you should want to help, but how can you do it in a smart way that doesn't put your life in danger? So asking that question, what could these men have done to help these women not to be abused by this guy without putting themselves in harm's way. Think about it. What could they have done? Could they have said, ladies, why don't you come to the next train car with us? And they would have never gotten close to him. So if you're on a train with some man that's yelling, if he's yelling, he's probably a nut, right? And if he's a nut, maybe he's the kind of person who pulls out a knife. So you don't know these things about people. Well, you have to take people for what they show you. Yeah. And believe what you see. And the other thing is, if you don't know how a situation began and you're just late to it, that's another reason, that's another time to not get out your gun. Because if you don't know how it started, you have no business pulling your gun out. You may be pulling it out on a police officer who's undercover, a plainclothes detective who's making a drug bust. But he's got some woman by the arm and she's screaming bloody murder, let me go, this guy's trying to kill me. And so you pull your gun out and you've just pulled
up the whole thing.
Yeah, so don't go there. If you don't know, use your words, communicate with people. Mm-hmm. Say something, say, hey, what's going on? Don't get close enough to get stabbed. But yeah, so people like to believe they're going to do the right thing under the pressure, and what you really got to think about is ahead of time. If this kind of stuff happens, what can I do that protects me and my family, and I can still be helpful?
Do the right thing the wrong way.
Yeah, so there's no reason for, you never want to try to be helping people and get killed and have your family lose you. So your first duty is to your own life and your family's life. And if you don't have anybody who loves you, then you can do whatever you want. But if you have anyone who depends on you or who loves you, you need to really think about how you can be helpful and still be there for your family.
Bring the training at Barren Creek back up. And so let's reiterate here how much time we got. We got about 2.5, 3 minutes before we end the show. Let's talk about enhanced concealed handgun again, and then all the activity. What's coming up on the weekend?
This weekend, we've got the regular concealed carry class on Saturday, which is full. I have an enhanced class on Sunday, and it does have a few spaces available. So if that's something you're interested in and you're free on Sunday, it will be basically an all-day class. It'll start at 9. We should finish about 5. You would need your gun and a minimum of 100 rounds. Hopefully you'll only need 50, and willing to sit down for 6 hours of classroom time and then do the range qualification. It's $150. At the same time, at 9 o'clock in the morning, we will be starting the introduction to defensive carbine class, which will run at the same time. Mm-hmm. It will finish earlier, obviously. Like Mike said, we do have space also available in that class, a couple of spots. And it does look like we're going to have decent weather on Sunday. The classes that we teach, the range classes, are obviously weather dependent. It's when someone is learning, you want the environment to be a good learning environment. So if it's pouring down rain, that's not going to work, or lightning. If it's a little misty, that's not a big deal. But the concealed carry classes are basically indoor classes because they're about the law, and so those classes are not dependent on the weather. So even though it's probably going to be pouring down rain Saturday, we'll still be doing the concealed carry class. We've got, and I also do a concealed carry class on weekdays at White River Firearms.
Really?
Yes. We kind of started doing that and make that available for people who have.
Let's see, bow.
Yes, bow. And yes, so I do one usually once a month on a weekday at White River. That's convenient for people whose weekends are planned out and busy and may have time to do it. And it's also closer to town than where my facility is. That makes it a little bit easier on folks. And I do renewal training. That's that 1.5 hour class, and I do a lot of that at White River also. So that makes it easier for folks in town. And I usually do those on weekdays. Let's see. Combat focused shooting classes. We'll be doing one of those, I think, in the middle of March. Combat focused shooting is evolving. The name is changing to intuitive defensive shooting, and intuitive defensive shooting is really what combat focused shooting is. It's a better description. So it's defensive shooting, and it's intuitive because it works well with what your body does naturally. There's nothing like trying to train somebody to do something that doesn't work well with what your body does naturally under stress. So we take that into consideration, and that is why that's a better name. Plus, a lot of women get a little stressed over the idea of combat focus, and it's like, well, combat's a fight for your life. So, but this is a little bit more touchy-feely name, so it's good.
Visiting with Elka King, training at Barren Creek, defensive firearm training, and the big word here is training. You know, and you offer, like we had the website up, so many different types of gun training available. How can they get in touch with you?
They can go to trainingatbarrencreek.com. They can call or text 870-404-5251. That's my number. I have a Facebook page. Training at Barren Creek has a Facebook page, so all of those work. Texting's probably the quickest. And
we got to go.
All right.
See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Dale.